Rajesh, are you seeing my screen?
No, I don't
Very?
see the.
Okay, I'm
No,
not
I
sure.
don't see the screen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, now I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so this is topic 5. Why do bad things happen to good people? It's the most fascinating question and most favorable topic to Basu. He has been waiting. In fact, we all want to know. We all want to know about this. Why do bad things happen to good people? Because we are all good people, but bad things happen to all of us. So we want to know why is that so? Right, Samit? Have you ever wondered why bad things happen to good people? You never wondered? You never questioned? You never had this question in your mind? Okay, you never.
You asked me, right? Why bad things happen to me?
Somebody bullies you at home, at school, or somebody is not being so nice to you at school. You feel bad, right? Yeah, and then you start questioning, or at least wondering why, why me? Why is it happening to me? So, so why do bad things happen to good people, or vice versa? Why do good things happen to bad people? So we see in our society um, that there are a lot of bad people. Bad people means people who are not following any religion, who are not following any systematic, way of life, uh, who are completely, irreligious. They're almost leading animalistic life. But uh, I mean, 90% of the people in America and in the Western countries, they are leading animalistic life. But still they are enjoying life. All good things are happening in their life. They have all the comforts in their life. They have nice cars, nice bungalows, nice wife or husband, nice children, nice family, nice job with nice income. Everything is nice. uh, at least everything appears to be nice externally. So uh, why is that so? Or we see some people who committed so many mistakes or sins, but they are kept in jail for some time, 1 week, 1 month, or a short duration, and then they are out, and then they are leading a normal life. So why they are able to? How come they are able to lead a normal life after having committed so many sins? Uh, and and when we reflect this to ourselves, we are assuming we are good people. So why do bad things happen? Why corona, or why if somebody gets laid off? This is the season, right? This is the season of layoffs now. So why somebody got laid off even though they did not do any mistake, they did not commit any sinful activity. uh, there are 100,000 employees in the company. So many people are still in the company, but why only a particular person got laid off? Or when a person is traveling by train or flight or something, bus, there is an accident and that person dies. Why? So, or some people, they get these terminal diseases, cancer or something like that, and then they die. So why only those people? Why not others? And we hear from the news that some innocent children in schools, mostly in Texas, that's where all these incidents happen, right? So some shooters, they go to the school and then they fire the guns and kill innocent children. Why is that so? Uh, So there are answers to all these questions in these sessions, in this session. So this is just a recap of what we discussed last week. So we discussed the three aspects of God: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So Brahman is the all-pervading energy of God. Paramatma is the super soul residing in everyone's heart. And Bhagavan is the personal form of God. Paramatma is also Paramatma form also. Paramatma aspect also has a form. It's the four-handed Narayana form. Four-handed Narayana or Vishnu form, holding Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in four hands. But with Paramatma, even though it has a form, it has a personal form that you can see, you can meditate upon Paramatma and you can realize that personal form of Paramatma. You can't have a loving exchange with Paramatma. You can worship with on reverence, like with respect, you can worship. But unlike with Krishna, who has the two-handed Shamasundara form, you cannot worship Paramatma like that. Any form of Narayana, Vishnu, you can worship those forms with awe and reverence. Awe and reverence means with respect. Whereas with Krishna, you can play. You can play, you can joke, you can be a friend, you can be a servant, you can be a mother or father or a husband. There are different rasas, different relations in which you can worship Krishna. So then Bhagavan is the two-handed Shamasundara form, which is the highest aspect of God realization. Highest aspect of God realization. And then we discussed the definition of God: the supreme proprietor, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer, and supreme creator. The original source of everything, cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana Karanam, and he does not have any cause. He is the cause of everything, but he does not have any cause. And then we discussed about Devatas, demigods. Devatas are in charge of various universal departments. They are subordinate to the Lord. And Devatas also, they are also in the material world. Just like how we are in the material world, Devatas are also in the material world. But they are in Svargaloka, where the life, the quality of life, the lifespan, the enjoyment, everything is more, it's more advanced than earthly planet. And we also saw the different planetary systems, right? There is earthly planet, and then 6 planetary systems above, and then 7 below. So total 14 planetary systems. 14 planetary systems, everything in the material world, including Svargaloka, where all these devatas, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, they all reside in Svargaloka, which is also part of material world. And we discussed about yoga. The real definition of yoga is to establish a connection with God. To establish connection with God. Yoga comes from the root word yuj. In Sanskrit, yuj means to connect. To connect with God, to link with God. That's the real yoga. Not the, Hatha yoga or Ashtanga yoga, heart yoga, Vikram yoga. There are so many different types of yogas in today's society. None of them are real yogas. They're all just bodily exercises which provide you with some good health. But the real purpose of yoga is to connect with God. To connect with God, to establish a relation with God. Okay, so coming to today's topic. So why do bad things happen to good people? Why? So all of us, we face some situation at some point or other in life, And then we start questioning, why things are happening this way. I'm trying to be happy, but why I'm not able to be happy? Why bad things are happening to me? I don't know if I have committed any mistake in this life. I don't remember anything, but somehow, the bad things are happening. Why? So there are two types of results, right? One is you commit some mistakes and then you see some consequences from it. So what mistake you did. That is easy to comprehend. Okay, because I did this mistake, that's why I'm suffering from this consequences. But sometimes life presents us with some situations or problems for which we have no clue. We have no clue why they are happening like that. And in this lifetime, we cannot recall any mistake that we have done. So why am I suffering? Even though I have not committed any mistakes, why am I suffering? So some people are fabulously rich. Some people are wretchedly poor. Like people from Somalia, they are very poor. Some are very healthy and strong. Some are born physically challenged. Some are blind. They have never seen the light in this world. Why all these differences? Now, if you ask any rational person means a person who always thinks with a logic and reasoning. Okay, that's what they teach kids in the schools, right? They ask kids to question everything. They don't encourage kids to believe anything blindly, unless you can see something, don't believe it. That's how they teach in the schools, and that's how we were also taught in the schools. So if you ask these questions to any scientist or any person who is rationally bent, who is bent with logic and reasoning, they can't answer these questions. For example, why a person is blind, they can't answer that question. So they say that there's no God. They're atheists, right? They say there is no God. They say that the universe, the origin of the universe is either Big Bang or chance theory or theory of evolution, Darwin's evolution theory. They come up with some theory to explain the origin of the universe. But okay, let's say Big Bang is the origin of the universe. But how do you explain the reason for all these differences? Why somebody is born blind? Why somebody is able to see the beautiful nature with their eyes? So that doesn't make sense. It's not fair. It's not fair that one person is born like this, another person is born differently. It's not fair. And the nature is not like that. Nature is not fair to somebody and unfair to other person. Okay. So why all these differences? Why is God partial? So it appears that God is partial. He created some human beings very nicely, and he created other human beings with problems. Right from the birth, they have different problems. Why do innocent children get killed? This is another question. Children, until the age of 12, they don't have any karma. Yeah, even if they do bad things, they don't have any karma until the age of 12. So now, if we hear news saying that some children in a school, in elementary school, who are under 12, in the age of 6, 7, 8, they got killed, then obviously they do not have any bad karma in this life. Even if they have committed any mistakes, they don't incur any karma. Until the age of 12, they don't incur any karma. Because their consciousness is not developed. Their intelligence, consciousness is not developed. So even if they do things, they don't do things knowingly. They don't do things purposely. Yeah. So it's only out of innocence or ignorance. Unknowingly, they may commit some mistakes. And children, under the age of 12, they don't commit any grave mistakes. Like they don't kill anyone, right? Yeah, they might steal other person's, other child's pen or pencil, or they might beat, they might get into some little argument or fight, but they don't commit any grave mistakes like killing somebody or something like that. So, but when we hear the news that innocent children, in elementary school got killed, why do things like that happen? They did not do anything wrong. And this picture shows, different problems: innocent children being killed, innocent people getting killed. Why is God so unkind? Now, when whenever natural calamities happen, big natural calamities happen, earthquake or tsunami, or any major floods or COVID, so we see many people dying, hundreds and thousands of people dying. During COVID time, it was in millions, right? Millions of people died across the world. So now it appears that God is so unkind. He's simply watching and not doing anything to protect these people. Or why is God so cruel? If God is the cause of everything, why is God killing so many people? Why is God killing so many people? Is God so cruel? So somebody wrote a book, Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? He's not a he's not a Vedic person, but he came up with some philosophy saying that it's all random, which does not make any sense. That philosophy does not make any sense. It cannot be random, because everything in the universe is happening under the precise universal laws. The planets are rotating in their orbits with precise law. And everything that is happening in the material world, it's under precise universal laws. Things don't happen randomly, or life is not unfair to somebody. Why do bad things happen to good people if God is all powerful, all knowing, all loving? So these are the general definitions of God that people across all religions have, right? If you ask any, a person from any religion, they say God is all loving, all knowing, all powerful. So if God is all loving, then why these things are happening to some people, and other people are leading a happy life? And if he's all knowing, all powerful, why can't he stop such things to happen? Okay. Vedas declare that God is all powerful, all knowing. So you might have heard these terms, right? Omnipotent. God is omnipotent. That means all powerful. And omnipresent. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. God is inside us, outside us. God is in the walls, in the floor, in the trees, in the rocks, in the temple. God is everywhere. God is in the chair, sofa, this projector, this laptop. God is everywhere. He is omnipotent. There is nothing where there is no God. God is everywhere, omnipotent, omnipresent. God is omnipresent, omnipotent, all powerful, and omniscient. Omniscient means he knows past, present, and future. All knowing, omniscient. So omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Three things. God is all knowing, all powerful, and present everywhere. Present Sarvantaryami. You heard, right? Sarvantaryami. So before we understand the reason why bad things happen to good people or good things happen to bad people, we need to understand the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. The 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita are Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. These are the 5 different topics of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. The first 6 chapters deal with Karma Yoga. Middle 6 chapters deal with Bhakti Yoga. Last 6 chapters deal with Jnana Yoga. Okay, Karma, Bhakti, and Jnana. And you take any shloka from Bhagavad Gita, they talk about these 5 different aspects. These are the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. So first one is Ishvara, God. So Krishna himself describes about him. God himself talks about himself. And who is the best person to know about God other than God himself? If you want to know about God, the best method is to hear directly from God. And that is what Krishna did in Bhagavad Gita. From chapter 7 to 12, he explained about himself. He explained about himself to Arjuna. Yeah. So what are his qualities? What are his potencies? How does he look? How we can see God in this material world? All those things he explained in Bhagavad Gita. Excuse me. And then the second one is Jiva, the living entity. So we are all living entities. The human beings, animals, insects, these are all trees. These are all living entities, Jiva. So anything that is growing, that means there is a soul in that. So even rocks, some rocks or some mountains, they grow. Over a period of time, they grow. That means there is soul, there is life in those rocks or in those mountains. Some rocks, they don't grow. That means there's no soul in that. There's no life in that. Whereas some big rocks or big mountains, they grow over a period of time, they grow. That means there is soul, there is life in that. So anything are trees. Trees, obviously, we can see them, they're growing. Human beings, insects, reptiles, animals, they all grow. Anything that's growing, there is soul, there is life in that. Yeah, their consciousness is different. They have a lower consciousness. Human beings have the higher consciousness. Trees and animals, they have lower consciousness. Yeah. So that's the second topic, Jiva. And third one is Prakriti, material nature. How this material world functions. We are living in the material world. So we need to know how this world functions. Unless you know how this world functions, you cannot live in this world happily. Okay, so that is Prakriti, third one. Next, Karma, activity. Fourth one, third is Prakriti, fourth one, Kala, time. Fifth one, Karma, activity. So coming to fourth one, Kala. So if you remember from the Mahabharata days, B.R. Chopra Mahabharata TV serial, right? Yeah, Ramayana and Mahabharata. So what is a famous dialogue from Mahabharata? Yeah, that shloka is there. Yeah, the shloka comes during the title song, but during yes, my samay ho. Yeah, during the middle of Mahabharat episodes, my samay ho. Krishna says, time I am, kalos me. There is shloka in Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, where Krishna says, kalos me. Time I am. Krishna says, I am time. I am time that force all the living entities to die. That force all the living entities to die. Yeah. So the time is the forcing factor for anything to grow, dwindle, and then come to an end. So anything that has life, it takes birth, it grows, it dwindles, and then it dies. These are the 4 stages. So the trees, animals, human beings, they all have to go through these 4 stages. Birth, dwindle, birth, grow, dwindle, and then die. So time is the factor, forcing factor, which is causing these 4 transformations. And there is no one who can escape from time. Nobody can escape from time. Even the richest person in the world, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or even the powerful, yogis who have mystic siddhis, ashta siddhis. Somebody can achieve ashta siddhi.
They can try whenever they want. Not like us. Right? For us, our death date is decided.
Yeah.
We can't force to. But yogis means they can, when they want to, they can leave the body. Right?
So the way they do that is, so now let's say somebody has a lifespan of 60 years. Okay. So what does that mean? So it's not actually the numerical 60 years. It is the number of breaths. The definition of a lifespan is number of breaths. How many number of breaths you are allowed to take, and that is written when you are born. Not the age. It's not the 50 years or 60 years. For general rough estimation, we say 50 years, 60 years, based on how many number of breaths, average number of breaths a person takes per second. So there is a rough calculation given, 60 years, 70 years. In today's age, the average lifespan is 70 years. During our grandparents' time, it was probably 90 years or 100 years. But now it is 70 years. And after 20, 30 years, lifespan will reduce further. Okay. So this is, lifespan is defined as number of breaths a person takes. So what yogis do is, with their yogic process, they can stop breathing. They can stop breathing. So they take a long breath and then they stop. They survive on that breath for several days, weeks, or months.
Because of the meditation.
Not meditation, the Ashtanga Yoga process. Yeah. So as they achieve perfection in Ashtanga Yoga process, they can control the breath. Okay. They can control inhaling and exhaling. So they inhale and then they don't exhale. So when they fill the entire body with the prana is the life air. Okay. They fill the entire body with the life air, prana, and then they can survive upon that for several days until that prana is exhausted. And then they breathe again. So like that, they prolong their lifespan. And they can leave their body whenever they want. On an auspicious day, like Ekadashi day, or during the daytime. Yeah. So they can plan their death that way. Yeah. So, but eventually they have to die. Okay. Even if they don't plan, or let's say they can increase the lifespan by few years, but it doesn't mean that they can live forever. They can live eternally. They are also subject to Kala. So Kala is a forcing factor on everyone, forcing everyone to dwindle and die. Okay. And then karma, activity. Yeah. So Rajesh, anything so far? Any questions so far? Are you with us?
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just checking. Yeah. Okay. So now Prakriti. Going into details of Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing but the material nature or the material energy of Lord. Lord has material nature and superior nature, or material energy and superior energy. So material energy is nothing but the matter. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are the Pancha Mahabhuta. Pancha Mahabhuta, that's the material energy. So our body is made up of matter. These Pancha Mahabhutas. Our body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. They say, right? So Rajesh, what language do you speak? Rajesh, are you on mute? Okay.
Sorry, can you say that again? Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah. What language do you speak?
I speak at home like Konkani.
Oh, Konkani. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're from Goa then?
No, I'm from actually I was born and raised in Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay.
Bangalore. Yeah.
Bangalore. Yeah. Mangalore.
No, Bengaluru.
Bengaluru.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have another person from Bangalore. Yeah.
How
Basu.
is it?
Basu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So there is Tulu also, right? Tulu. Yeah.
Yeah, that is Bangalore. That is Bangalore.
That is Mangalore. Yes. Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different accent, just like how we have Telangana, Andhra, different accents.
మన తెలుగే డిఫరెంట్ గా సౌండ్ ఇచ్చేస్తారు కదా వాళ్ళు.
Yeah.
గోదావరి district.
Yeah. So
తెలుగులో కన్నడ
different accent. Yeah. So material nature, they say, right? ఈ శరీరం అంతా మట్టి. విన్నారా అది? శరీరం అంతా మట్టి. Yeah, it's exactly true. Matti means the earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are the five constituents of this body. Okay. So in the last class, we discussed how Krishna expands himself as Mahavishnu, who is lying down in the causal ocean, like you see in this picture here. So he's lying down in that ocean. It's called causal ocean. Okay. Karana Udaka. Udaka is ocean. Karana is something that is producing the universes. Okay. Kalasamudram. Palasamudram. Yeah, Palasamudram. So, and he's lying down in the causal ocean and simply breathing. And whenever he exhales, innumerable number of universes are created, Brahmandas. innumerable number of Brahmandas come from his exhaling. Ananta Koti Brahmanda, come from. Yes, and when he inhales, all those Brahmandas are annihilated and they go into Mahavishnu's stomach. And then Mahavishnu, he enters each of the universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. That also we discussed in last class. He enters into each of those universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then he enters into each and every living entity as Karanodakshaya Vishnu, as Paramatma. Okay, so there are three Vishnus: Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So Mahavishnu, he creates the universes, innumerable number of universes, and then the matter. Okay, so he is a maintainer. Yeah, he is a maintainer. Yeah, he is the one who is governing all these universes. And then he creates Brahma for the secondary, who is responsible for secondary creation, and then Shiva, who is responsible for annihilation or destruction at the end of the age. So this is the material energy. Okay. So this slide here, it shows the differences between matter and spirit. So matter is temporary, spirit is eternal, permanent. It has no beginning or no end. Matter is Achit. So there are three things, right? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is eternal, Asat is temporary, and Chit is conscious, full of knowledge. So spirit soul is full of consciousness. Spirit soul is fully aware of the fact that I am the soul, I am not the body. I am the eternal soul and I am servant of Krishna. Whereas Achit means no knowledge, full of ignorance, dead. The matter does not have any knowledge, does not have any consciousness. That is Achit. And then spirit soul or spiritual energy is full of Ananda, full of bliss. Whereas matter is full of misery, Nirananda. And some examples are given. So our body is made up of matter. Okay. And our spirit soul, our soul is made up of spiritual energy. The place that we reside, that's the material world. And material world is full of it's full of Asat, Achit, and Nirananda. Whereas spiritual world is full of Sat, Chit, Ananda. Okay. Even our bodies in spiritual world, they are made up of Sat, Chit, Ananda. Whereas in the material world, the entire world is made up of matter, and even our body is also made up of matter. So material world is only 1/4 of the total creation. So total creation means it includes everything, spiritual world and material world. Now, when spiritual world means all those lokas, Ayodhya Loka, Vaikuntha Loka, Goloka, Dhruva Loka, there are so many lokas, so many different planets in the spiritual world. And material world, we discussed the other day. Earthly planet, and below earthly planet, there are 7 lower planetary systems. They are all 14 planetary systems, 7 above, 7 lower, including Svargaloka. They are all in the material world. So this this entire material world that we are aware of, it's only 1/4 of the total creation. That means we are minority. The spiritual world, the people who are in the spiritual world, they are majority. Yeah. There are many souls living happily in the spiritual world. We are minority here. But when we look at the entire population, what's the population of the world? Is it 700 billion or
India is 125 billion or something.
125 billion?
Billion, yeah.
Billion.
India.
Yeah.
World.
So world population 700 billion something, I think.
US is about 400 million.
Yeah. US is only 1/3 of India actually. Population is 1/3 and the geography, the area is bigger.
1.25 billion.
Yeah, total 7.8 billion.
Yeah.
7.8 billion
Yeah,
total world population.
World
Yeah.
population.
Okay.
7.8 billion.
Billion.
8
Yeah.
billion.
Approximately 8 billion. Okay. Okay. So 8 billion.
ఇక్కడ 10 లక్షలకి 1 బిలియన్ కదండి. అలా 100 మిలియన్ అయితే
1000 million అయితే
1.3.
1 billion.
బిలియన్ అయితే 1 బిలియన్.
Billion. Yeah. So billion 9 zeros. Yeah.
It makes sense, right? I mean, only it's structured that it's a good thing that it is structured that way. We are minority and they are majority, right? You don't want it the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All into the
Yeah,
middle.
exactly.
So if you take any city, right? For example, Seattle city. So Seattle population is probably 100 million. No. 20 to 30 million. Okay, Seattle population 20 to 30 million people. And let's say there are 100 jails. Okay, in the entire Seattle, greater Seattle area, there are 100 prison houses. In all those 100 prison houses, let's say 10,000 people, maximum 10,000 people are residing in those prison houses. So the good people are majority and the bad people are only minority, 10,000. So similarly, the material world is compared to jail. It's a prison house. Material world that we are living is a prison house. So it's only minority, 1/4 of the total creation. But when we look at this 7.8 billion total population in this world, we have knowledge of only this world, right? Now, there is a universe. Okay, the universe has different worlds, so many different number of worlds and different number of planets, and there are innumerable number of universes like that. Innumerable number of universes like that. And within each person's body, there are some billions of souls within each body. Our body is made up of cells, right? So today I read somewhere there are 100 trillion cells in each person's body. 100 trillion cells, and each cell has microbes, right? So each microbe is a soul. Every living particle is a soul. So within our body, there are some hundreds and billions of souls. Now you look at this 7.8 billion population and look at the number of universes. I mean, that number, you cannot, it's some big astronomical number. We cannot even calculate, we cannot even comprehend that number. And it appears too big, right? It appears too big to comprehend. But still, it's a minority. When compared to the total population in the spiritual world, it is still a minority. Just like the comparison between the population in the city, 10 million versus the population in the prison houses, 10,000. Okay. And Bhagavad Gita says, material world is Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So how do I move this? It's blocking all the time, right? Okay. Okay. So Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. That's the nature of this material world. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, Krishna says, material world is Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So what is Dukkhalayam? What is Alayam? Temple or any place, basically, any place or building. Okay. So Grandhalayam means it's not a temple, but it's a building. Okay. All the books are there. Grandhalayam, you find only books. Devalayam, you find only Deva. And Chikitsalayam, it's a hospital. Chikitsalayam, you find doctors there. Patient, doctors and patients. Like that, this material world is labeled as Dukkhalayam. So what will you find?
Because you're looking for happiness here.
You're looking for happiness, but you only find unhappiness, dukkha. You only find miseries. That's why it is labeled as Dukkhalayam. It's stamped. When you go to US consulate for visa stamping, they say, it's approved or it's rejected. They put a stamp, right? So Krishna created this material world and stamped it, Dukkhalayam. Now you go and you try to live like a god. That's the problem, right? Why we fell down from the spiritual world is we wanted to become God. We wanted to enjoy like God. We wanted to enjoy like God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you're here.
Yeah, that's a problem. So we were envious of Krishna. We were envious of Krishna. Now, even sometimes, right? Now, if you think deeply, right? Now, when you go to temples and there's a grand festival happening, so much of decoration and so many flowers, fruits, jewelry, or so many clothes, and so much they are doing. Sometimes we get a feeling, okay, why they are doing so much to God? Why not to me? Why not to me? Huh?
We're not creating anything.
We are not creating anything. Yeah. So we fell from spiritual world, and now after we go through these millions of lifetimes, the 8.4 million species of life, and even in the human life, we go through millions of lifetimes before we achieve perfection in Bhakti Yoga, and then go back to spiritual world. So once you go back, then you will not fall down.
Spiritual world కూడా different ఉన్నాయి కదండి అయోధ్యలోక
Yeah.
మీరు ఎక్కడి నుంచి పడిపోయారు అక్కడికి వెళ్తారా?
Yes.
ఇప్పుడు నేను అయోధ్యలో నుంచి పడిపోయాను అనుకోండి, నేను మళ్ళీ అక్కడికి వెళ్తాను.
Yes.
బట్ నేను ఈ లైఫ్ లో నేను కృష్ణుడిని పూజిస్తే అప్పుడు నేను గోలోకానికి.
So in this life you are worshipping Krishna means you are from Goloka. Yeah. So so see, today you are worshipping Krishna. Today you are worshipping Krishna. But as you progress and when you achieve perfection, your mood can be different. See, Bhishma Dev, he was worshipping Krishna. But in the end, when he passed away, he went to Vaikuntha Loka. Because that was his mode.
Oh, Vishnu Sahasranamam, ఆయనే కదా
Yeah.
ఆపే-
Yeah, in the end, he chanted Vishnu Sahasranamam. Yeah, so he went to Vaikuntha Loka. Yeah.
Vaikuntha Loka is different, Krishna Loka is different.
Yeah. Vaikuntha Loka is where Lord Narayana resides. Yeah. And there is Vishnu Loka where Vishnu resides. Yeah. So material world is labeled as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Ashashvatam is temporary. It's not permanent. Okay? So the question is, why did Lord create the material world? Why did the Lord create the material world in the very first place? Just like how there is a jail in every city. So why does the government create a jail? Or when they allocate budget for different things in the city every year, so they allocate some amount to jail. Why do they do that? Why does the city first of all create jail, and why do they maintain it? Why do they allocate budget every year to maintain the jails? Because they know that the city or the government knows that there will always be some rebellious people. There are good people, and there are always few rebellious people who do bad things. So now there can be two options, right, to deal with the bad people. So bad people, you ask all of them to stand in a line, you shoot all of them, and then done. But is that a good thing to do? They have done some bad things, but in the name of punishment, is it a proper thing to kill all of them in one shot? No, it's not. So that's why the jails are created as a means of bringing transformation in these people. Okay, that's why the jails are also known as reformatory places, right? It's a place for attaining reformation. So if they spend the prisoners spend a few years in the jail, then they go through the transformation, and then they are released. So just like how the prisoners are given treatment in the prison houses to go through some transformation, correction basically. Okay, correction. They go through correction. Similarly, God created a material world so that He can keep all the rebellious souls in the material world. Rebellious soul means souls who turned away from God, who are envious of God, Why should I serve God? Why can't everyone serve me? We had that thought in spiritual world. That's why Krishna sent us to material world. Okay, you want to be God, right? So you go and try to become God in the material world. Okay, that's a good question. So why we had that thought when we were in the spiritual world? So in the spiritual world, all the living entities, we were happily serving Krishna in whatever relation. Now, the living entity, the souls, they have something called as free will. But it's a limited free will. It's not the complete free will that you can do anything that you want.
Like Wi-Fi, it will be limit.
Limited free will. Okay. So first of all, why there should be free will? Okay, let's try to understand that. So what exactly is free will? Free will is you are giving an opportunity to a person to do things according to their own desire. Okay, it's a limited free will. That means there is some limit to what extent you can do things based on your desires. It's not a complete free will. So now look at the children. Okay, if you don't give freedom to them, okay, if you tie them to a chair or to the wall and then you ask them to study, will they study? No. So you give them some freedom, you give them some guidance, and you give them some freedom. Then they can do things that they want, and at the same time they can also do things that you want. Because without freedom, there is no love. Without freedom, it's only dictatorship, right? You know, Hitler used to do that. Without any freedom, that was dictatorship, and dictatorship cannot sustain for a long time. So wherever there is love, there is freedom or free will, and there are choices given. Okay, but some souls, they misused their free will, and then they thought like that: why everybody is serving God? Why not me? Why can't they serve me? Why should I serve God? So we had thoughts like that. And then Krishna, God, who is residing in Paramatma, as Paramatma in everyone's heart, right? He knows what we are thinking. So then all those rebellious souls, Krishna sent them to the material world. So we are like prisoners. We are like prisoners who committed mistakes. Yeah. And we are all bound with some chains or ropes. And there are 3 different kinds of ropes or chains that we will discuss now. So this slide just talks about what we discussed now. So in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, shloka 27, Ichchadvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. So Krishna says, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. So Krishna is saying here, all living entities have arisen from desire and hate. So we all hated Krishna. In the spiritual world, we all hated Krishna. So we were envious of Krishna. So why only Krishna is enjoying everything? Why not me? So we were envious. And then we had... Huh? Yeah, we were also enjoying, but
More desire.
more desires. But compared to what Krishna enjoys and compared to the number of servants Krishna has, we don't have any servant, right? We are serving Krishna. We are servant and Krishna is the master. So Krishna is one master where all the servants are serving him. So looking at that, we get a feeling, oh, why everybody is serving Krishna? Why not me? If everybody is serving me, then I will also enjoy like Krishna. So we get a desire like that. So then we come into the material world. That's what Krishna is saying here. So what is a proof that we hated Krishna or we were envious of Krishna in the spiritual world? What is a proof? No, that is there, but how do you get more conviction? Okay, so that is one thing. The fact that you have taken birth in the material world itself is a proof that you hated or you are envious of Krishna in the spiritual world. But what more? How can you get more conviction now?
You have 3 sectors, right? Loka, material, and spiritual world, right?
Yeah.
So we are in the middle.
Mhm.
That means we fall somewhere else out, right?
Yeah, you fell down from the higher planetary systems, from spiritual world.
Go from up or down also, right? To up,
Yeah, from Patalaloka you can
go to up.
progress and go up.
Maybe we can think we are from Patalaloka, now we are in spiritual world.
So the proof that we were envious of Krishna or we hated Krishna is, I am envious of you. I am envious of you. I hate you.
Then you want to be that him.
Yeah. So in the material world, we all function like that, right? Everyone is envious of the other person. Everyone, even though they don't say externally, but they hate other people. They hate other people. They are envious of other people. So what is envy? Envy is other person has something that I don't have. You have 100 other things, but that person, he has something better than you, or he has 101st thing. You have only 100 things, but he has 101 things. So you are not looking at these 100 things that you have. You are only looking at that one thing that you don't have. That is called envy. There was a Onida TV advertisement,
yeah.
right? Owner's pride and neighbor's envy. Owner's pride and neighbor's envy.
ఫస్ట్ వచ్చేది అనుకుంటా కదండి ఫస్ట్ అనేది ఆ టీవీ ఛానల్ పెట్టినప్పుడు చిన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడో విన్నట్టు
Yeah, it was an advertisement of that Onida brand TV. Yeah, with some, honks, right? Yeah, like a demon face. Owner's envy, owner's pride, neighbor's envy. So that's the proof that we are all envious of other people in the world. We're all envious of other people. Even a person that we are not even familiar with, if we see them driving a nice car or if they have nice big bungalow, we become envious. It's a nature, it's a nature. It's a human tendency. So that's the proof that we were envious of Krishna in the material world.
And we still have some of that with us.
We still have, because in all the people, Krishna is there in the living entities, right? Now, if you are not envious of Krishna, then you should not be envious of this person also.
You're also friends with some people, right? Some friends or some enemies.
You are friends with some people, but is that friendship true friendship?
Friend and enemy is different.
అలా ఉండదు కదా
No,
No.
అయి ఉంటాం మేబీ నా దగ్గర లేదు మీ దగ్గర ఉంది ప్రతి మినిట్ అనుకుంటానండి
పొరపాటున ఏదో అలా
ఎప్పుడో
thought.
కొన్ని సెకండ్స్ అనుకుంటాం
Yeah.
అలానే మీకు కదా
So that's a seed. When you have the few seconds of thought, right? That's a seed for a bigger hate and bigger enviousness in future. You will not know, but over a period of time, that small things keep accumulating, and then that's why we see, right? In India, brothers and sisters, why they fight? It all starts with some small seed, and you don't know when that started. It must have started 10 years ago or 20 years ago.
Thoughts were okay, but the action these never see you're not that kind of thing.
Thoughts keep coming and going, right? Whenever a thought comes, it gets registered in your brain. It does not go. You don't keep on contemplating that. Yeah, because you get busy with so many things in the day-to-day life. You don't contemplate on that, but that bad thought, it gets registered in your brain. And then after 1 year, another thought comes that adds up. Like that, over a period of time, all these small thoughts, we think that it's happening only for that particular second, and after that you are friend with that person. But over a period of time, they all accumulate, and then one fine day, everything bursts, and then you have a big fight, even with your own brother, sister, mother, father, husband, wife.
Yes, friend and enemy versus enemy is different. I can be friends with everybody,
Yeah,
but sometimes you envy your friends the most,
Yeah,
right? If you see your friend is trying to, even though your friends,
yeah,
you like him, you're happy that he got it. Sometimes you feel envy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
In
exactly.
fact, most of the enemies, if you ask me, are
friends
my
Closest.
friends and people you
The
know.
people you are close with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
they don't
Exactly.
Yeah, because you know a lot of details about your friends.
Yeah.
See, in Facebook,
Yeah.
you see everything, right? This
Yeah.
person has gone to so and so place for vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, we were just sitting and attending Bhagavad Gita class. Oh, I should have done this on Thanksgiving Day, on Sunday, I should have done this.
I'm out of those things.
Yeah. So those things happen,
Yeah, that's correct. It only happen with friends only. Yeah, they see something,
అంటే
they
ఇక్కడ
won't have it.
మన బర్త్ ఎండ్ అయ్యే వరకు మనకి ఎన్ని ఉన్నంత వరకు మనం పైకి వెళ్ళలేదు.
Yes.
Be clear
Yeah.
about it.
ఎన్నికి
So lust, greed, anger,
Sooner or
envy, mada, moha, matsarya. There are total 8 things. No, 6 things. They say Arishad Vargas, right? Shad Varga means 6. Shad means 6. Lust, anger, greed. These are the 3 things. And then Mada, Moha, Matsarya. Mada, Moha, Matsarya. These 6 things. So these are the obstacles on the path of spirituality. And whoever have their own selfish desire, or whoever hates God, they don't have any place in the spiritual world. That's why God creates the material world and tells, okay, you go there. I'm creating a Disney world for you. You go and enjoy.
All dualities.
Yeah. So here all the time we are bombarded with the dualities.
Yeah.
Should I do this or not do this? Is this good for me or not? Should I marry this girl or that girl? And after marrying, you'll think, oh, I should have married the other girl.
Another desire.
Or should I live in India or go back to, should I live in America or go back to India? Should I work for Microsoft or Amazon? So we are always bombarded with these dualities. So, and dualities are the cause of problems. In spiritual world, there are no dualities. You have one goal to serve Krishna, one master, one God. Everything is one. It's all unanimous. Whereas in material world, it's all binary. It's all binary, dual.
Spiritual world నుంచి మన మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్ పడతాము. సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఇంకా దేవుడు అంటే భక్తి లేదు, నాకు ఏమీ లేదు, అలా కొన్ని లక్షల మిలియన్ జన్మలైనా నేను ఎత్తుకునే ఉంటానా?
Yeah, until you achieve perfection, you will be here in the material world.
అందుకని మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్ కి ఎండ్ అనేది లేదు.
Yeah.
ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళు ఉంటారు కదా.
Yes.
అచీవ్ చేయకుండా పర్ఫెక్షన్.
Yeah. So it is at the same time, it is possible to achieve perfection in 10 seconds. As Jyoti always
1 second, right?
she wanted 1 second or 10 seconds. 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. So it is possible to achieve perfection in 1 second, or in one lifetime, or it can take millions of lifetimes also. Yeah, it all depends on what you want to do, because God has given the freedom. You make the choices. Yeah.
ఈ పాటలో కూడా మనం రాగలిగామంటే మన మైండ్ లో ఎప్పుడో ఒకసారి మనం అనుకోబట్టి దేవుడు తీసుకొచ్చాడు.
Yeah.
దేవుడు కాదు, నువ్వు వచ్చింది. మనమే వచ్చింది కదా, దేవుడు కాదు.
No, మనం అనుకోబట్టి ఈ థాట్స్ మనకు ఉన్నాయి, అందుకే గాడ్ షోడ్ అ పాత్ టు కమ్ హియర్. Yeah. In the material world, God provides us the facility to satisfy our perverted desires, our own personal agenda of being the enjoyer, controller, proprietor, which conflicts with everyone else's agenda. The problem here, we have everyone trying to compete with each other to become the controller, enjoyer, and competitor. But the result is conflicting. It leads to hatred, envy amongst everyone.
కానీ సమ్ టైమ్స్ అలా అనుకోవడం వల్ల మనం డెవలప్ అవ్వచ్చు కదండి. అంటే నాట్ బ్యాడ్, ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర లేదు, జ్యోతి దగ్గర 101 థింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ 101 కోసం నేను ప్రయత్నం చేయొచ్చు కదా. లేదు దాని నుంచి స్నాక్స్ తీసుకోవడం అలా కాకుండా, ఓకే జ్యోతి ఇలా చేసింది అంతేనే వచ్చింది, నేను కూడా చేయొచ్చు కదా.
Okay, so you will achieve that 101 thing, and then next day Jyoti achieves the 102nd thing.
Then maybe that is not go to.
No, anything that you don't have and the other person has, forget about whether it is good or not, but you want that. Yeah, because you don't know, right? Unless you have it, you don't know whether it is good for you or not. But when you see other person having that, you want to have it. That's the nature. That's how the mind works. Yeah. So 102nd thing, third thing, fourth thing, and it goes on. There's no end to that. Yeah. And you are never peaceful. You are never happy. You are never peaceful. There's always anxiety. Okay.
Chanting will remove all the enemies.
Yeah, chanting will remove all these anarthas. These are all anarthas. Okay.
Then you will be peaceful.
Yeah, we discussed all this already. Okay, so since the rebellious souls are sent to the material world, there are 8.4 million species of life. Species means a kind of life. Okay, like here you see, even within human beings, you see different kinds of human beings, and animals, you see different kinds of animals. There are reptiles, insects, aquatics, birds, trees. There are different kinds of living entities. So Jalaja Navalakshani, Stavara Laksha Vimshati, Kramayo Rudra Sankhya, Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam, Trimshat Lakshani, Pashava Chatur Lakshani, Manusha. So depending on what a person desires, they are given birth into that particular species. So if somebody, all the time, if somebody is looking at the aeroplanes and he develops a desire, oh, I wish I can fly like that. Then in the next life, they'll be born as a bird so that they can fly like the aeroplane. So depending on what kind of desires you develop, you are given a birth accordingly in the next life. So if somebody is eating meat all the time, then they are given in the next life, they are given a specific body so that they can enjoy meat all the time, every day. Okay, like lion, tiger, all those things. So why this specific number, 8.4 million? Why not 9 million, 10 million, or 20 million? Why not 10 million? The reason is, in Vedas declare that there are 8.4 million different types of desires that the living entities can have. Yeah, 8.4 million types of desires living entities can have. Yeah. Now imagine that. Now imagine that, Yeah, we are only thinking of these few things, right? But at the subtle level, a person can have 8.4 million types of desires. Yeah, 8.4 million types of desires. So it's very complicated than what we think. Yeah.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పారు కదండి, మీరు ఏం అనుకుంటే అది నెక్స్ట్ లైఫ్ లో అలా పుడతారని. ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను, నాకు ఇంకో జన్మద్దు, నేను గోలోకానికి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి, వెళ్తాను మరి.
అనుభవించాలి.
అది మీరు అనుకోబట్టి మీరేం బ్యాడ్ చేయకుండా ఇదే హ్యూమన్ లైఫ్ లో మేబీ యూ ఆల్వేస్ థింక్ అబౌట్ దే ఆర్ సేయింగ్ మీట్ ఈస్ గుడ్ అండ్ మీరేమన్నారు అలా అప్పుడు లైఫ్ గా పుట్టి ఆల్వేస్ మీట్ అండి. ఇప్పుడు నేనున్నాను, బట్ నేనేమి అచీవ్ చేయకుండా నేను ఆల్వేస్ గోలోకంలో ఉంటే అంత బాగుంటుంది, ఇక్కడ ఈ మిజబుల్ ఇదేమి ఉండదు అని. అప్పుడు నేను వితౌట్ డూయింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్ కెన్ ఐ గో?
So that's one point. And also it's based on what you desire and what you deserve. what you desire and what you deserve. So a person can desire to fly like a aeroplane. Okay. But that does not mean that they'll be given a birth of bird so that they can fly like a bird or aeroplane.
Not immediately, it won't happen.
Yeah. So they need to have that qualification also. They need to have the qualification. So based on what you desire and what you deserve, both. So you may desire to go back to Krishna or God at the time of death. But if you have achieved perfection in your life, only then you will remember Krishna at the time of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you remember Krishna at the time of death, then obviously you will go to Krishna.
Oh, you don't in this life itself.
Yeah.
No karma will not stop out.
Nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember Krishna at the time of death, you will go to Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. But how can you remember Krishna at the time of death?
If you're doing all bad things,
Yeah.
then at the time of death,
You won't remember.
Yeah.
So obviously you will remember whatever you do in the life. That's what you will remember at the time of death. So if you remember Krishna throughout your life, then you will remember Krishna at the time of death. If you remember your laptop throughout the life, you'll remember your laptop only at the time of death.
If you are fighting with husband all the time.
Yeah, you'll remember husband,
Yeah.
and in the next life, you'll become a man.
Yeah.
You'll become a man. You'll take birth as a man. So, yeah. So whatever you do, whatever you remember at the time of death, that's what you will become. Yeah.
Oh, last week you made a picture. Marga పుట్టాలంటే girls ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి gift card పెట్టుకుంటారని మీరా చీటి మాట్లాడాను.
He said like man has more good karma than bad in his life.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Even Vedas declare that men have higher intelligence than women. That's why the Vedic system is also created in such a way that men are supposed to protect women. Men are supposed to guide women.
Not other way around.
But it's happening the other way
Yeah,
around.
it's the other way
It's
around.
happening the other way.
Opposite direction. Right?
In this world, like girls getting good ranks, good positions, right?
Yeah.
So
No, intelligence means not the
Not that one.
academic knowledge or material education. The spiritual knowledge, spiritual education.
No, overall, they have more intelligence, right? Overall.
No, that
life
intelligence
itself.
refers to spiritual intelligence.
Mhm.
Spiritual intelligence. Intelligence to engage in spiritual activities. That's what it refers to. Yeah. Men are given higher intelligence than women. Yeah.
But intuition they have more than men.
Yeah, they have other abilities which are more prominent or powerful than women than men. For example, intuition and also
Intuition is powerful, right? That's very
yeah,
powerful, right?
intuition, planning. Okay, so women can plan 10-20 different things at the same time, whereas men, they can only focus on one thing at a
One
time.
at a time.
Women, for example, when they need to cook something, right? Like 30 people are coming home, they need to cook. How many things they need to think about?
That's right.
There are, let's say they are making 10 different varieties of food. For each variety, they need to think how much ingredients are needed, what ingredients are needed, how much in quantity, all of that stuff. And they can think about all these things at the same time.
Hmm.
Men cannot do that. Men, okay, let me finish this one thing first, then I'll think about the other thing. Like that, planning and multitasking, intuition. Yeah, they have these qualities which are prominent and higher than men.
Also, women can do more outside things, gents also can do more.
Yeah. Okay. So now, among the 8.4 million species of life, this is the distribution. 900,000 aquatic animals, 2 million are the trees and plants, 1.1 million insects, and 1 million variety of birds, 3 million the four-legged animals, and human form of life is only 400,000.
What does it mean?
Different types of humans.
400,000 types?
Yeah,
You only see one, right?
we see only one,
after
right?
another.
Now this number, or this 8.4 species of life, it talks about life in all the planets, not only earthly planet, but all the planets. Yeah, Svargaloka, Patala
మనిషి అంటే same like this, right?
Svargaloka, they're all devatas. They also have,
Yeah, devatas.
yeah,
I agree, but human అంటే మనలాంటి కదా, same thing.
yeah, but their form is different, right? Somebody may have 4 hands. No, somebody may have 4 hands. Yeah. And Brahma, he has four heads. Shiva has 5 heads. So and if you go to Patala Loka, demons, right? They have different form. So yeah. So forth, yeah. So that's the number of species, are the 400,000 species of human life, is based on the consciousness, is based on the level of consciousness. So if you are lower, if you have lower consciousness, you are in the lower planetary systems. If you have higher consciousness, you are in the higher planetary systems, like that. So the species is based on your consciousness. So we have moderate or medium consciousness. That's why we're in the middle planet, earthly planet.
Not పాతాళ.
Yeah. If you have higher consciousness, then you will go to Svargaloka.
స్వర్గలోకానికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మనం గోలోకం అయోధ్యరేఖ అలా వెళ్తాం.
You can go to, yeah, from Earth planet also, you can directly go to Goloka. Yeah. In fact, when you go to Svargaloka, it is very difficult to go to Goloka. Because Svargaloka, it's all enjoyment, right?
After
You don't remember God.
again we will
You fall into the material world. Yeah.
From this material world, we have to go to directly Ayodhya or
Goloka. Yeah.
Or
Or Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha Loka. Yeah. So different bodies provide different levels of consciousness, just like different cells in the prison. So there is A class cell, B class cell, and C class cell. So A class cell is in the prison house. A class cell is provided to politicians or rich people, where they are given all the comforts, even in the prison. Yeah. Whereas C class cell, the treatment is very harsh. The punishment is very harsh. So just like that, there are different kinds of species in the material world. So A class cell is like human body. Human body in Svargaloka is A class cell, where the life is all good. Yeah, Svargaloka. And the B class cell, you can think of it as human life in earthly planet. Okay. C class cell is like Patala Loka. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the Patala Loka. Yeah. So this is another slide that shows differences between God, demigods, humans, and animals or trees. Okay, let's take each column and look at the differences between all these 4 things. Okay, so we can go around and read. So Basu, why don't you start with the lifetime? Take the lifetime column and tell all the differences between God, demigod, humans, and animals.
Yeah, the lifetime for God is eternal. He has no beginning or no end. The lifetime for demigods is thousands to millions and billions of years. Humans' lifetime is 100 to thousands of years. The lifetime for animals and trees is a few moments to thousands of years.
Okay, here,
Thousands of years for the
Trees,
oh, humans for a thousand, yeah.
humans, hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah, some yogis they can prolong their life and
Hanuman దేవుడు
thousands.
అది హనుమాన్ is demigod.
Hanuman is a demigod. He is not actually demigod. Hanuman is an eternal servant of Rama. Yeah, he's not, because demigods they are all in the material world, right?
Right.
Humans, demigods, animals, these are all the material world. Hanuman does not fit into this classification. Thousands of years. So humans living thousands of years. Different lokas, different yugas. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga. Yeah. So 100 years is Kali Yuga. Thousands of years is Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga or Dwapara Yuga. Yeah, different yugas. Lifespan is longer, right? Yeah. But the trees you can see in the material, in the Kali Yuga itself, you can see some trees live few days, some trees can live thousands of years. Okay, the sequoia trees in California, they live for thousands of years. Yeah. Okay, now Sudhakar, take residence.
Yeah, residence. Spiritual world, Vaikuntha, demigod, higher planetary system, example, Swargaloka, heavenly planet, humans, planetary system, example,
Yeah.
Example, Earth, Bhuloka, or lower planetary system, Patala Loka, heaviest planet.
Yeah. Jyoti, qualities.
God, we love, no disease. Qualities to delivers more enjoyment, less misery, weight loss spirit. Humans in quality to some enjoyment, some misery, weak loss spirit. Or animals, trees, quality, less enjoyment, more misery, C class.
Yeah, see, animals and trees, always they have to stand in the outside weather, right?
Yeah.
Heat, cold, they have to bear all these things.
Yeah.
And animals, if somebody is beating them, they have to tolerate all those things. In India, dogs, people throw stones or beat them with sticks, they have to tolerate all those things. So less enjoyment, more misery. That's a C class cell. Yeah. Okay, so far we have been discussing about nature, material nature. This is one of the 5 subject matters, right? In Bhagavad Gita, what are the 5 subject matters? Jiva, God, and then second one is Prakriti, Kala, then Karma, and then fifth one,
First one, second one is C.
yeah, Jiva. Second one is Jiva.
First one is Ishvara.
First one is Ishvara, Jiva. Third is Prakriti. Fourth is Kala. Fifth is Karma. Yeah. So far we have been discussing about Prakriti. Okay, how the material energy or the material nature works, and now we are going to understand how we are all bound with the chains or ropes or how the soul is bound with the chains and ropes. Okay. You see this picture here on the right side. There are three ladies, holding these men with ropes. Okay. So those are the three modes of material nature. Everything that we do in this material world, it is under the influence of these three material natures, these three modes of material nature. The three modes of material nature are Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Rajas and Tamas. Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Yeah. So you heard all these names?
Yeah.
Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Yeah. So mode of the English names are mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness is Sattva guna, mode of passion is Rajoguna, mode of ignorance is Tamoguna. So these three modes are binding us like chains or ropes. Okay, just like this picture showing here. Anything that we do, whatever we are eating, studying, working, or playing, entertainment, or anything that we do, it's under the influence of these three modes. Always mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, all the time. The mode of goodness is compared to gold chain. Mode of Sattva guna. Mode of passion is compared to silver chain, Rajoguna. That's why the Sanskrit word for silver is Rajatam.
Yeah,
Rajatam. Rajata Patram is the Rajata Patakam. Swarna Patakam, Rajata Patakam, Kansya Patakam. Yeah. So Rajatam, mode of passion, or is compared to silver chain. And mode of ignorance is compared to iron. Yes, correct. Yeah, iron chain. Yeah. But all these are all binding us. Even the mode of goodness, which is good, which is compared to golden chain, but that is also binding us. That is also keeping us in the material world. But it's better than the other two. It's better than mode of passion and ignorance. Now let's read the references in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita chapter 14 verse 5. Sattvam rajas tama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibadhanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Okay, translation. So Kalpana Gar, which other translation?
Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes
Conditioned by these modes. Yeah.
Conditions చెప్తారా?
So he comes conditioned by these modes, and he means the soul. He refers to the soul. So when the soul falls from the spiritual world, he comes into material world, then he gets under the influence of these three modes: mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. Now this is a shloka explaining the mode of goodness. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanayam sukha sangena badhnati jnana sangena chanaga. Okay, Basu, can you read the translation?
Yes. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge.
Yeah. So these are the symptoms of a person who is in the mode of goodness. So generally people who belong to Brahmin caste, actually the caste is not decided by the birth, but okay, let's take the so-called caste by birth. Let's say somebody is born in a Brahmin family. So we see them, they're peaceful most of the time, they're calm. They don't run around here as much as other people do. And they have Vedic knowledge. So these are the qualities.
They have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So even the other forms of knowledge like dance and art, music, they are good at
Yeah.
those things. They have good skills at those things. They are intelligent. Okay. So those are the qualities or symptoms of, Brahmanical person. So it says here, being purer than others is illuminating. Illuminating means that person is in the mode of, that person is full of knowledge. Okay. Knowledge is light, they say, right? Illuminating means what? Something that is as bright as light. So they're always illumined with knowledge. Prakashakam anamayam. That's the second line in the shloka. Prakashakam anamayam. Prakasham means illuminating. Illuminating with knowledge. Illuminating with knowledge. Now, when you see a person who is full of knowledge, you can figure out, that there is some aura, or there are some good vibes, or some, they radiate something. They radiate some kind of light, or some good vibes. And they're peaceful, calm. They're always happy. So these are the symptoms of people who are in the mode of goodness. Okay. So Brahmins, they are in the mode of goodness. Sattva guna, continuing, seeking knowledge, life free from sins, conditioned by happiness. That's why, for a long time, for a very, very long time, if a person is Brahmin, that means we all know that they don't eat meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that has changed now. That has changed completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people are not very to me.
Yeah. So that is what it means. Life free from sins. That means in the olden days, people belonging to Brahmin caste, they never touched meat. Okay. Conditioned by happiness. They're always happy. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra.
Kshatriya and Shudra.
Yeah. And then other things are man-made. Yeah. There are so many other castes, right? They're all man-made. Yeah. Also, the caste is not decided by birth. If a person is born in Brahmana family, it doesn't mean they are Brahmana. The so-called caste system, the so-called caste Brahmana, caste Vaishya, caste Shudra, or caste Kshatriya, these are also man-made. So a true a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are decided by the qualities and the type of works they do. Their qualities and the type of works they do. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. Guna and karma. Guna is qualities. Karma is their activities. Based on the qualities one has and based on the activities one performs, their caste is defined. That's not based on the caste. It's not based on the birth. Yeah. Just like
but with always chanting Devananda, equal to Brahmin.
Yeah. Based on the qualities, at least based on the activities, what we do, we belong to Brahmana. Yeah. So qualities of a Vaishya is doing business, agriculture also. Doing business, agriculture. These are the qualities of Vaishya. Okay? They are in the mode of passion. And mode of and Kshatriya is also in the mode of passion.
Brahmana and Vaishya.
Rendu. Yes. So, and all of us, we have these three modes changing. It's not like one person is always in the mode of goodness and one person is always in the mode of passion or ignorance. These modes keep changing every day. Throughout the day, these modes fluctuate.
Yeah.
From mode of goodness to
Sometimes we are so
passion, from
happy.
passion to goodness, goodness to ignorance. They keep on fluctuating throughout the day. Yeah. But there is always one mode that is predominant, that is more prominent than others. Okay, 3 modes are there, but one mode is always prominent. And this shloka describes the mode of passion, Rajoguna. Rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadhati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Okay, Sudhakar, read the translation.
The mood of passion is born of unlimited desire and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bounded to material, intuitive actions.
Yeah. So mode of passion means unlimited number of desires. You always want to do something or the other. No matter how much you have, you always want to achieve more and more. Unlimited number of desires. That is the quality or symptom of a person in the mode of passion. Okay, they're always passionate to do things. Okay, like software engineers running around all the time, to do various things. So no matter how much you achieve, you always want to achieve more and more. Okay, even if you have 1 million, you want to achieve another 10 million. So the number of desires never end. It's unlimited. Unlimited desire. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. And as long as we have these desires, we are bound to the material world. We are bound to this material world. We are forced to fulfill those desires, and we keep on taking birth in these 8.4 million species of life. So this is a picture that shows the mode of person in the mode of passion, always checking the time, running around. Unlimited desires, fruitive activities. And this is mode of ignorance. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 8. Tamastvajnanajam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhihi tannibadhnati bharata. So Rajesh, are you still there with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to read this translation here?
Yeah. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all the embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul.
Yeah. So these are the symptoms of person in the mode of ignorance. So they are always ignorant of the spiritual knowledge. Arjuna, he belongs to Bharata Vamsha.
Oh,
Bharata Vamsha. Yeah. So Arjuna is referred to with different names in Bhagavad Gita at different times under the context, under different contexts. Yeah. Yeah. Partha, son of Pritha, like that. So the symptoms or qualities of a person in the mode of ignorance is they are always under the illusion of Maya. They are fully ignorant of God and fully ignorant of the spiritual spirit soul. They are fully ignorant of spirit soul. Results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. And there is a picture that shows the mode of ignorance. So person has taken some alcohol and then sleeping happily. He's fully ignorant of, he's fully oblivious of his surroundings. So, Tamoguna. So they are ignorant of right and wrong. Sleep and intoxication. They don't discriminate. The people in the mode of ignorance, they don't discriminate between right and wrong, between good and bad. Okay, they just do whatever they like. Everything they do, they think that is right. And as I said, the three modes fluctuate from morning till evening. In the morning, a person is in the mode of goodness. And as the day starts, they're in the mode of passion. And as the evening or night starts, they're in the mode of ignorance. So, so what determines, so what's the time? It's 4 o'clock, right? Okay. Let's see. I can continue for some more time. So there are 50 more. Till 4:30. I have another class at 5. So if we have some questions, then that will take some time. Okay, so maybe these 3 slides we can finish. So what determines our modes? Okay, so there are 3 modes in every person, and the 3 modes fluctuate from morning till evening and throughout our lifetime. And one mode is prominent than others. Even Brahmanas, who are supposed to be in the mode of goodness, they also have a little bit of passion and ignorance. And Kshatriyas, who are supposed to be in the mode of passion, they have some amount of goodness and ignorance. Vaishyas, who are supposed to be in the mode of passion, they have some amount of ignorance. And the person who is ignorant, who is in the mode of ignorance, is always ignorant. He does not have any mode of passion or goodness. Shudra. Yeah. So what determines? Food. Yes, very good. So there is a saying, right? You are what you eat. You are what you eat. So whatever you eat, that decides your consciousness. That makes your consciousness. That builds your consciousness. There are some slokas in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 17 where Krishna explains how different kinds of food affect these 3 modes. Affect the mood and also mode. Okay, mood and mode both. Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardanaha rishaya snigdha stira hridaya hridya ahara satvika priyaha. Translation. Jyoti, you want to read translation?
Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of it. Purify one's pollution and boost health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart.
Pleasing to the heart. Okay. So now these 3 slides are very important. Okay, to focus. Because this can change. The food can change our consciousness to a great extent. So it can make a person from mad person to a cool person and an intelligent person, wise person, or vice versa. A person who is very intelligent, very good, very happy, very peaceful. The food can change him to completely, an insane person, to completely an insane mad person. So this slide here, it shows the foods in the mode of goodness. So what is the benefit of such foods? They increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, give strength, they give health, happiness, and satisfaction. And what are those foods? Foods that are juicy. So juicy means, examples, fruits. Okay, fruits. Fatty, milk and milk products, milk, yogurt. Most importantly,
Milk we should drink, right?
yeah,
We should drink
we should drink
right?
every day. Yeah. More than milk, fatty means ghee. Yeah, ghee. So that's why in cooking, the best thing is to cook with ghee,
Not at all.
not with oil. People say, you know, coconut oil is best,
Olive oil.
olive oil is best, or you know, something else is best.
More for
Yeah.
oil evidence.
Yeah. So best thing is to avoid any oil and only cook in ghee. So 3 days ago in the temple there was a Thanksgiving feast, right?
Today also.
Yeah, today also. They made mirchi bhajis
Oh.
and they fried them in ghee.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah, in ghee.
Do they have any here today?
May not be mirchi bhajis, but other Thanksgiving feast will be there. There will be lasagna, there will be pumpkin pie. There are different things. So I mean, you know, in my life, I never heard of mirchi bhajis frying in ghee.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, you make chakar pongal in ghee or you know, something else in ghee, but
అందులో మనం నెయ్యి వేస్తాం అందులో ఫ్రై చేయం
yeah, ఫ్రై ఏమి ఉండదు. సో నెయ్యి ఎంత వేస్తే అంత టేస్ట్ వస్తుంది. Yeah.
ఫ్రై చేస్తాం
అరిసెలు అరిసెలు, yeah, they fry అరిసెలు in నెయ్యి. Yeah, but mirchi bhajis I never heard of frying in but we saw it live because Harilas Maharaj, he believes, he knows the value of ghee. That's why he recommended to fry mirchi bhajis in taste. There is a taste, and when you eat such food, it gives you satisfaction and it gives you health. All these things that you see on this slide here, it gives you, it increases your lifespan. It gives you strength. Ghee gives you strength, you know, good health. It gives you happiness and satisfaction. Just like sweets, right? When you eat sweets, you are happy, you know. So all these fatty foods, sweet is another example for fatty food. Sweets, ghee, sweets, ghee, all these things. Wholesome. Next one is wholesome.
That is grains.
Wholesome is whole grains.
Okay.
Whole grains is an example. Yeah, whole wheat, whole grains, you know. Unpolished one, basically. Rice or dal or anything, unpolished ones. Okay, even the moong dal or tur dal or anything, urad dal, unpolished one. Unpolished, and also the raw ones. Okay, without peeling the the shell.
They used to peel that skin only.
Yeah.
They eat rice also like that.
Yeah. So best thing is to eat the raw one without peeling the, you know, skin. So these are some of the examples of juicy, fatty, wholesome, and you know, yeah, they are pleasing to the heart.
So you cannot eat rice without eating rice.
You can eat raw rice, right? Like brown rice is an example of raw rice.
అంటే పాలిష్ లేకుండా పైన ఇప్పుడు వడ్డీ కదా వడ్డీలించే కదా బియ్యం ఆ వడ్డుని అలా తినలేదు కదా డైజెస్ట్ కూడా అవ్వదు పై పొట్టు తీయాలి ప్రభుజీ అనేది పాలిష్ లేకుండా.
Yeah, polish lekunda. So when you get rice from the crops, right? You peel the wari and then you have the grains. The grain is in brown color. Okay, when you polish that becomes white. So best thing is to eat the brown one. Yeah. Okay, so there is a chart. Let's say I need to drop off. Okay, yeah, sure, Rajesh, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Okay, see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Bye. We'll see. Done? Okay. So this is about the food in the mode of goodness. That's why Brahmins, if you see their food, right? Dal, ghee, dal, ghee, dal, ghee. Even in sambar, they add ghee. Anything, they add ghee. Vegetable, sabji, they add ghee. Everything, they add ghee. Yeah. That's good. It gives you taste and health, happiness.
మేబీ ఘీ తింటే దానికి తగ్గట్టు మనం క్యాలరీస్ కూడా బర్న్ చేయాలి కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఉన్న ఈ రోజుల్లో అంత మనం వర్క్ చేయాలి కదండి.
No, it gives you good fat actually. It gives you good fat.
It won't increase our cholesterol?
No, it gives you good fat. Yeah. Next, this is about the mode of, about the foods that are in the mode of passion. Tatvamala lavanat yushna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasha shreshta dukkha shokamaya prada. Okay, Basu, you read the translation.
Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease.
Yeah. So foods that are too bitter. Okay. Too bitter, too sour. Yogurt or anything,
Pungent smell, so ఏదైనా పాడైపోయి వస్తుంది.
No. Pungent. See, all these things are good. You need to eat bitter things. You need to eat sour things. You need salty things. You need pungent things. You need hot things. You need dry and burning. But anything overdoing, like too much bitter, too much sour, that is not good. But otherwise, bitter is good. Like kakarkai, bitter gourd is good. But too much bitter is not good. Yeah. Too much sour, too much salty, too hot, too spicy. Pungent, it's a strong vagaru. Yeah. No, not vagaru. Sour is vagaru. Sour is pulupu. Yes, pungent is vagaru. Yeah, correct. Sour is pulupu, pungent is vagaru. Yeah. But yeah, most of the people, they like spicy food. Spicy and salty food. That's in the mode of passion. And these types of food, they cause distress, misery, and disease. Okay, now last one. Yatayamam gatarasam puti parishitam chayat uchishtam api chamedyam bojanam tamasa priyam. Okay, Sudhakar.
Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasted, decomposed and putrid, and food consisting of remnants, non-touchable things is dear to those in the mood of darkness.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God, అంటే 3 గంటలకు ముందు మనం వండకూడదు.
వండకూడదు. మనం 3 రోజులు తింటాం, 3 నెలలు కూడా తింటాం మనం. Frozen stuff.
అయితే కూరగాయలు మనకు వచ్చేది 3 days ఉంటుంది.
Yeah.
మనం కొనుక్కుంటే వెళ్తే మళ్ళీ 4 days అవుతుంది.
Yeah. So at least that's okay. That is not in our control. What is coming to your hand is not in your control. Where it is coming from, Mexico or India, or California, that's not in our hands. So they definitely use cold storage for transportation. Okay, that is not in our hands. But whatever is in our hands, that we should not spoil it. Okay, so they are bringing it in cold storage. Now again, we are also keeping it in the freezer and eating the frozen stuff. Then it's not useful.
In this Kali-yuga, people are not having good health.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So frozen stuff or food cooked before 3 hours. Yeah, these are all not good things. That's why in the olden days there was no refrigerator, right?
Yeah,
There was no refrigerator. They used to cook and then eat. And then in the evening, they used to cook and eat. That's all. No fridge. Pickles. Yeah. Pickles, okay. Yeah. Pickles, and then in the morning, they eat that rice, right? Rice with buttermilk.
Yeah.
White rice with buttermilk. Ambali. That is the best food actually. That is the best food for people who are working hard in the field, the farms.
But that is cooking in the night. I think. But
It's basically food from the previous night, previous day. In the morning, the next day morning, you make some preparation. You add this pickle and then buttermilk. సంకటి ముద్ద రాగి ఇది రాగి సంకటి అది కడప వాళ్ళు
అంటే అది 3 hours ముందే బుక్ చేసింది కదా, అది కూడా హెల్తీనా?
అది హెల్తీ. అంబలి అది ముందు రోజు చేసినా కూడా హెల్తీ అది, ఎందుకంటే ఫ్రిడ్జ్ లో ఏం బెటరు. సో ఇంకేమవుతుందంటే అది ఓవర్ నైట్ అంతా పెట్టినప్పుడు ఇట్ ఇంక్రీజెస్ ద న్యూట్రిషన్స్.
బియ్యం వస్తారు కదండి, గంజి వస్తారు కదా, ఆ గంజిలో వాళ్ళు సాల్ట్ పెప్పరు ఆనియన్
గంజి నీళ్ళు తాగుతారు. దట్ ఈస్ హెల్తీ. దట్ ఈస్ హెల్తీ.
Don't come to my place when you eat all this. Nasty food and come.
Because they cannot help.
They cannot help.
No matter how much medicine they give, it's only temporary, right? You have to change your food habits. Food is a medicine. Actually, food is a medicine. There are so many diseases that food can cure. If you go to Mantana ashram, everything. Tamasic food also, even if you eat in limited quantity, it is not useful. Like food prepared more than 3 hours before.
Not useful.
It doesn't matter whether you eat once or twice. It's still poison. Still poison. Best thing is to cook everyday food.
నాకైతే మా తాతయ్య వాళ్ళదే అండి, పొద్దున్నే 4:30కి లేస్తుంది. మా నాయనమ్మ వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి వెళ్తే 5:30కే మీకు ఇంక తిట్లు కనులు పడతాయి, లేకుంటే 7:30 కల్లా బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్, బాత్, పూజ అన్నీ అయిపోతాయి. మధ్యాహ్నం 11:30, 12కి లంచ్ పెట్టేస్తారు. 6 కల్లా డిన్నర్. మా నాయనమ్మ ఇంక 7:00 ఎదుర్కొంటుంది. అందుకని వాళ్ళు తిరుగుతూనే 90s లో చనిపోయింది.
So they are very healthy, strong, and So look at Harivilas Maharaj. He is 76 years old.
He is so active.
He is very, in the last 50 years, only last week he saw a dentist. In the last 50 years, he has not seen a dentist. And he has not gone to any other doctor. No, nothing. He is very strong. He works more harder than all of us. Farm every day morning he goes and he spends there until evening. Does a lot of hard work. 76 years old. Because of the food that he eats. So ప్యారిస్ లో ప్రభుపాదని కలిశారు. ఇక్కడ పుట్టి తర్వాత ప్యారిస్ కి అటు వెళ్ళారు బిజినెస్ కి. సో అక్కడ ప్రభుపాదని కలిసి then he Srila Prabhupada. He's Prabhupada disciple. Prabhupada, he speaks. Those are gurus of Prabhupada. They are gurus of Prabhupada. These are previous acharyas.
ఆయన నుంచి మోటివేషన్ లభించి ఈ పాత్రకు వచ్చేది.